to another edition of the M6P versus the MCU. I'm your co-host Jared, along with Darrin, Brad, and John this week, and we're going to be discussing a bunch of fun stuff in the MCU. But first of all, let's find out who these guys are. I'm Jared. Darrin.
I'm Darrin. Help out with the M6P. Have been doing it for a while now. Known Jared since junior high. Everybody's heard the story who watches the show. So on to you, John.
Hi, I'm John. This is my first video broadcast on the M6P, but I've been writing for them for a few years. I got into comics in about 1990 when I fell in love with the Trial of Incredible Hulk's version of Daredevil and that awful black costume. And I've been a Daredevil fan and a Marvel fan ever since. Love the continuity, love the comics, love the movies.
And I'm Brad. I'll be reprising my role as myself this evening. For those that watched, I guess was that the first episode we did on the WandaVision? Okay.
You're an OG.
Yes, right. Yeah. I have not really ever known any of these guys in person, but we've definitely become friends, very close friends over the years on Facebook and just messaging and through comics and our common interests and stuff. Love comics, love these guys, and excited to see what we all think about the Falcon Winter Soldier, which was my most anticipated of all the, announcements, 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was. So,
yes, and this week we have bearded Brad,
and he's wearing the belt of strength. He's wearing the belt of strength as well. So it's
yeah.
Why is nobody talking about his notebook sign in the background? I mean, that's pretty cool.
What do you mean? That was a family heirloom.
The Scotch tape too, I'm sure.
I thought he was in the jail.
Awesome.
That's all the decoration they give you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. John's background really ties into this episode, and kudos to him. It looks great. His shirt looks great. It's not an M6P shirt. That's fine. But no, everything looks great.
Yeah, that's okay, John.
America's corner over here. That's all this is.
Right. And John has been with the Marvelous Box since the beginning. So John's a good guy.
Right here.
We like John.
Oh, awesome.
Look at that. Look at that. Brad sucks.
Hate it here.
And I've read at least 10% of the books that after those Marvelous boxes. But I love it. I still look forward to it every quarter.
Appreciate it, man. Now, and John has become a good friend too as well. Whenever I'm in Chicago, I always try and get together with John and see him, and he tells me where to stay in Chicago because he has a law enforcement background. So I tell John, I'm like, John, I want to stay somewhere where I'm not going to get shot, because if I get shot, it's just going to ruin my whole weekend. So I appreciate it.
I've got access to a special bunker. That's the only part of Chicago there's many great places in Chicago. There's just a few that you do have to stay away from.
Like Rick's house. All right. Well, we're excited to talk today about the 6th episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. But first of all, if you're not familiar with us, we originally started off as a podcast. You can check us out at the M6P.com for all of our podcasts. We're on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube under the M6P, Twitter, all that fun stuff. Just search for the M6P and you'll find us. We are also sponsored by MichaelWebSolutions.com. For all of your SEO needs, check out MichaelWebSolutions.com, run by our main man, Darrin, right there. We're also sponsored, like John said, by themarvelousbox.com. Check them out. CRPsavings.com for all of your Office Depot needs. And then DCBService.com for up to 40 to 50% off of brand new Marvel Comics delivered right to your front door. Take it from there, Darrin.
All right, so we do this going into everything. I guess we got to review episode 5 and 6, but one word for the past 2 episodes, and we'll start with you, John. We always first thing that comes to mind for the past 2. We have to go 2 because we can't handle 1 week shows, but that's fine.
One word answer, huh?
One word for each.
No, for both together. Just these last two episodes. Like, I guess how everything ended up for you on the show. One word.
Can I say buddy cap? Like buddy cop, but with Captain America. So we'll call it Buddy Cap Show.
All right.
It's way more than one word, but
Yeah, that's fine. No, it works. Brad?
I don't know. I was trying to. I thought I was going to have something by the time he was done, but I guess it does excite me. I'm excited for what's to come.
I would say mine would be all right.
Mine would be like nostalgia, kind of a bit, I guess. Leave it at that. So that's all right. We got that out of the way. Going into the episode, should we talk about 5 and 6? Or
You tell us, co-host.
Okay, so building up through this, we'll go with both 5 and 6. Going through both these past 2 episodes and stuff, like John Walker just kind of, in 5 he just ended like as a completely broken, and we didn't like him then. But then in 6 he kind of has that redemption factor. I thought that was interesting. Then also in 6 I really liked the whole structure of that episode in the regard that like most of the action happened at the beginning. That was kind of different, and I think it actually worked for them a little bit. After I watch the episode, I always get on and check out what the YouTube recappers are saying about that episode, and most of them have actually hated this episode from what I've seen so far. A lot of the big ones. I didn't hate it. I actually really enjoyed it, and there's probably some that definitely did not enjoy it. I get it, but I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts.
So episode 5, to me, if I had one word for that, it would be 80s. It reminded me of an 80s buddy cop, Lethal Weapon, fixing up a boat, doing the exercise montage with your shield and everything. Like that's every 80s movies. It's Rockies, it's Lethal Weapon. And it was fine, and they did it well. The Marvel Cinematic Universe usually takes a movie, fits it into a genre, and this was the buddy cop. That's why I said buddy cap. And that was for episode 5. It was good. There wasn't too much action. There was a little fight scene with between the two of them and John Walker at the beginning, and then the rest of it was just, don't hit on my sister. Let's fix a boat, and they introduced the Contessa, which was interesting. And that's promising where that's going to go. And then she came back in 6, and 6 was just, it felt a little bit rushed to me, technically. Like it was the only MCU on Disney Plus that I've seen that didn't actually look like a movie. It looked more like a TV show, just in, I don't know if it's the film or the digital quality of it. Did anybody else notice that? Am I crazy? Like
I thought so.
You thought so too, Jared?
Sophisticated enough for that, so.
But it was cool to see all the new gadgets, and the Sam Captain America looks promising. There's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to down the road too. But overall, yeah, I was happy with the series, I would say.
Brad.
Shouldn't make me go. You should make me go last.
Okay, then I'm gonna go. So Brad wants to go last.
I'll go last.
Okay, well, so episode 5 to me was super boring. Like the 80s movies, I think for me at least, they're like better for nostalgia. Like I can remember like, oh my gosh, I love Goonies. I love Never Ending Story. But I should not go back and rewatch them because they're not going to stand up. You know what I mean? So I think that was really that's kind of how this episode 5 was for me. It started off great, Walker's on the run and they catch him and there's awesome fight scene, and then they're fixing up a boat. Like, I don't want to watch 20 minutes of comic books fixing up a boat. And that's kind of like, to me, like that's the biggest problem of Marvel Comics today is there's so much filler and junk. Like they would put a Marvel comic book out there for $4.99 and it would be 2 people fixing up a boat. and you're just supposed to take it and deal with it. And I'm like, they're
Are
doing
you
it in the
telling me you
movies
didn't-
now.
Are you telling me you didn't enjoy the bromance that developed in those scenes between Bucky and Sam?
I kind of like the angst between them. Like in Civil War, I like that. Like, no, I'm his best friend. No, I'm his best friend. I kind of like that thing. I like the, but yeah, I think Contessa was probably the best part of that episode 5, and it really like hit me from the side because I wasn't expecting the Seinfeld character to show up. It's really hard to not see her as Elaine, and then she goes into this comedy routine. I'm like, oh gosh, no, be serious, be Contessa, don't be Elaine. Like, is Kramer gonna come busting through the door and say that he's Dum Dum Duggan or something? Like, oh. So I had high hopes for this episode because I needed closure on everything. You know, I needed the Thunderbolts to be introduced. I needed Zemo to break out. I needed Bucky to say, surprise, actually, I'm going to be Captain America, not Falcon. I had a whole bunch of stuff that needed to happen. It just didn't happen. So it wasn't terrible by any means, but I definitely think I would say I preferred WandaVision as a whole over Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That's Jared. Go ahead. I'm sorry. That's interesting because everybody was upset with WandaVision because their theories didn't come true, and here you are, the guy that's upset with this one because his theories didn't come true. Right? This was the one we were supposed to just, this is what it is. But
yeah. I talked to Tim. He was a guest a couple of weeks ago, and I said this one I'm not going to have any theories on, and like I didn't. You know, once we had episode 4, I was like, Thunderbolts aren't going to happen, and that's okay. I made my peace with it. But I just don't think a whole bunch really happened. Like, I really didn't care about the Flag Smashers. Like, I just wasn't invested in them as villains. So I just saw the heroes going through and beating, you know, like I was invested in Thanos. I was invested in Loki and a lot of those characters. Like, I want to see this fight. I'm interested in what's going to happen. Flag Smashers, like when Carly died, I was like, yes, she's never coming back.
Yeah, thank you.
But my wife is sitting beside me crying because she's like, I just wanted her to see the other side. I thought that she could make a change and make a good decision. I was like, no, she's dead.
You know, I think like I expected when she died and stuff, like they really played that scene out too. And I was like, oh, are they trying to get us to cry? And I just didn't care. I didn't care. And a good point, the Flag Smashers, like at by the last episode, what was the point of them? After, I mean, when it was all said and done, there was really no point to that whole group, as far as I'm concerned.
I was more upset that Batroc seemed to die. I mean, he's been around for a while, right?
He's not dead. He's not dead.
Yeah, probably not. Right.
That's what I was wondering.
The one that got shot that didn't die, or that did die, is the super soldiers, but the other 2 got shot, and they're going to be just fine.
Right. Yeah. Carter takes a gut shot. And
Good
she's
point,
like,
by the way.
I still got you.
Like Batroc was really cool in this series. Like I enjoyed his character. I'd like to see more of him.
Yep.
I agree. I do have one thing with that initial fight scene. It was super awesome. Sam comes in as Captain America, and they're fighting, they're kicking, they're both doing their kick moves. All of a sudden, he's through with the shield, the same shield that takes out 4 super soldiers later on. And Batroc kicks the lightest, flimsiest chair in the world, and he just knocks that shield right out. Like, oh, okay, I guess. The shield taking people's heads off last episode, but you know, little church chair right in and boom.
That church chair was the MVP.
Right.
Well, and it took me back to Winter Soldier when Batroc is giving Steve a run for his money on that ship, who is a super soldier. And Falcon's like, I'm just a human with a shield and a jetpack. I think I can take you. And he does. Like, what? Don't nerf my Batroc.
Right.
And also Falcon just started doing flips and stuff all of a sudden and ninja moves like in this season. Like, and I was like, where'd that come from? But whatever. I enjoy good action.
The training montage in the 80s episode 5. That's where he learned to do that stuff.
He taught himself all that.
He just hung out around a tree and started doing flips.
Yeah. Naturally, when you're around a tree, you just start, you know, Anti-grav. It's great.
Yeah, right.
Just climb into it so you don't hurt yourself. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we're nitpicking kind of, but
A little bit.
yeah, that's okay though.
All right, Brad, what you got, man?
All right, well, buckle in. No, I'm just kidding. I'll try and keep it brief. So first of all, the one thing that I was concerned about when the series started was how are they going to make it as entertaining? I love Sam Wilson, always have. I love the Falcon. But how are they going to make it as entertaining to watch him in these action scenes as it has been to watch Steve? You know. So in the love column goes that little bit, the action and stuff. I think they've consistently in every episode, every fight scene is really, really, really cool. Okay. The other side of like it goes in the first thing in the hate column from the first episode. I don't care who this Carly person is or what she does or how did she get this following? Where's she from? Why does she matter? I was waiting for them to tell me that for 6 episodes and they still didn't at the end. And then they were like, but she's dead. I mean, right? She's dead. And I'm like, okay, what else? What else is there? You know, just could not have cared less about that character. But it's their fault. You know, it's not because she's a woman or whatever. It's because, like, they didn't tell me anything about her. Why am I supposed to care? You know? But I did have an issue with the gadgets. It just seems like whatever Sam needs this thing to do, it can now magically do. And that was always a problem that I had with Iron Man in the comics when I was a kid, because one of my cousins is a really big Iron Man fan. And it just seemed like every time I'd open a comic book up, there would be Iron Man and he'd fight somebody and lose and then regroup and come back with a new armor. And now he'd win, you know what I mean? Like, and, you know, now it's pulling the door off of this helicopter by itself, you know, with no remote control or anything, and then shooting another grappling hook to grab this dude and whatever, you know, to save him out of the helicopter. And then there's these other 2 that are magnets and they grip on the front of the truck and they help him lift, and I just didn't buy any of that. Also in that scene where Sam is like actually pushing the truck also with his arms and stuff, I was like, no. I did love the costume. That was one thing that I thought, even in the comic books, when they were like, when they were like, hey, he's gonna be Captain America, I was like, okay, because I just thought he was gonna look like Captain America, and then they gave him like the new, you know, Falcon Captain America suit. I was like, that looks awesome with all the Alex Rossness to it and stuff. And they captured it perfectly. I mean, it looks like they tore right out of a comic book, put it on the screen. And that's what I want out of this stuff. I want them to pull it right off the page and give it to me on the screen. And then also, I think the Agent Carter as a whatever, people have already seen it by the time I watch this. Agent Carter as a bad guy, I was just like, I don't buy that. You know, like you don't have this patriotism that makes you worthy to be the love interest of Captain America in this movie, and then later on you're like, I'm going to replace Hydra with my own greed, you know. So
Scroll.
A possibility. That's a possibility. Think of that. But you're right. In Civil War, she, you know, fought all of her coworkers and all the people she was with just to be on the right side of things, and now she's like, oh, I want a nice art painting in my lobby, so I'll, you know, totally sell out government secrets and inject super soldiers. Right.
I also loved the way that the U.S. agent costume looked.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Thought it was great. And I think, we were talking about it a little bit before, we try not to get too far into it, but I would love for them to kind of like loosely bring in the Alpha Flight section of that whole thing, you know, to the surface. But
yeah,
you're not going to convince me, Jared, that they're not going to do the Thunderbolts. Okay, you can't have this. You can't.
I'm not trying to, and I think, I mean, Contessa's doing something. She said, "Keep your phone on you. It's about to get crazy." And then also there was apparently she's supposed to show up in Black Widow. And so does that mean that she's going to have U.S. Agent and now Yelena as the Black Widow and a Captain America? Is she going to be putting together maybe not Thunderbolts, but maybe like a Dark Avengers type of group? something's happened. Like that's not over with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see her being Harry Osborn until Harry Osborn shows up in the MCU.
That's
and put them
that's
together
actually who I thought she was. Like when you first saw her, I thought she was Hand.
Mm,
You know what I
Victoria.
mean?
Yeah.
Victoria Hand. Victoria Hand. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Well, she was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I think, Victoria Hand, but she had the purple, because usually Contessa has a white streak in her hair, not purple, right? In the comics,
Yeah.
it's more roguish than.
Oh, now I know who that is because you just
Almost
said
like
that.
Elvira.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like
Frankenstein's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
We were talking about before we started recording. Like I was waiting for you guys to tell me who that was. Had no idea. But now with the white streak, I can see it.
When I thought Skrull too, like Darrin had said, because I don't know what is the explanation for her being a patriot who in the Winter Soldier like went up against Hydra alone, and was willing to do whatever it took, and like John said, fought her coworkers to steal a shield and a pair of wings, and be exiled. To now, great, I've infiltrated the government. I've got all their secrets. This should help us out. Like. And you combine that with what was her purpose with the power as the power broker. Like she got the soldier serum, she was giving it to these people, but then she also tricked Bucky and Falcon to come over to Madripoor and fight each other. The scientist dies, and she's behind it the whole time. Like it seems very Skrullish to me.
Yeah.
And Skrulls help fill like plot holes that they're waiting to figure out. Like, I mean, let's be honest. Like they can make anybody become whoever. So
Well, they could fix the Mandarin.
Ooh.
They could go all the way back and fix the Mandarin with Skrulls.
Well, I think he's in Shang-Chi, right? Like the real Mandarin. Did you guys see that trailer? Came out.
Yeah,
this
with
week?
Blue.
I'm
Yeah.
so excited for that.
Right. Instead of Yellow Claw, they're putting Shang-Chi or the Mandarin in that position. Shang-Chi's his son now.
Yeah, he wears
the
his
other-
rings on his arms.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
The other super group I think is coming is the Young Avengers. Now we've met how many of them, right? We got Eli Bradley now. We had Billy and Tommy, Cassidy already, or Stature, and then between She-Hulk and the Secret Wars, we're going to get Hulkling somewhere, right? In one of those series.
Totally.
So that could be interesting.
Do any of you guys want that? Because like I honestly could not care. Like if you want Brad to not read your comic book, fill it with kids. Okay.
I enjoyed the original Young Avengers just because nobody was who they were supposed to be. Like it was a good misdirect comic where Eli Bradley was the son of or grandson of Isaiah Bradley. He wasn't related to Bucky at all, and Hulkling was between Captain Marvel and the Skrull Queen, and that was their son. Everybody that you thought was going to be, this guy's related to the Hulk, not at all. This guy's
Right.
related to Captain America, not really. Iron Lad, oh yeah, that's Kang. So maybe we'll see him in Loki. Maybe we'll get some Iron in Loki with all the time travel. Maybe they'll introduce some version of Iron Lad in there. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, Brad, you brought up a really good point too, that I was in my negative mode there for a while talking about the episode. The costumes, they were great. Falcon and US Agent, they really did look like they leaped right off the comic books. And that's why I want. I don't want them to feel like they need to do,
Yeah.
Fox black leather. They don't need to do muted colors. Give me some
Nope.
bright blue and bright red. You're a superhero, and there's a guy that has a glove with some jewelry on it that when he snaps, people die. Like, we get it. This isn't real. It's okay to be
Right.
flashy.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
I'd like Flag Smasher to be a little more space ghosty and carry that mace. I mean, she just had the mask with the handprint on it. She looked like Casey Jones. I thought it was a guy when they had the preview first. I just thought it was Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles.
The first time when you see a Flag Smasher, like it reminded me of like Kane or like Mankind from the wrestling. I was like, what's this guy doing here?
Yeah.
Which the power broker in the comics, that's what he was supplying, was wrestling. That's what I liked about this series. Was it was one of my favorite runs of Captain America was Mark Gruenwald, and all that stuff happened here just without Captain America. You know, all the Flag Smasher stuff he introduced, all the Power Broker stuff he introduced, all that kind of stuff. U.S. Agent or John Walker becoming Captain America and then U.S. Agent. That all happened again, 80s, back in the 80s to the early 90s, and that's exactly what this series was kind of about. And I like that nostalgia. Like Darrin said, nostalgia is a good word for it because that's the comics of my youth, at least.
Right. You know, I forgot. I made some notes. That Joaquin Torres. So in the comic books, he becomes the Falcon when Sam takes over Captain America, and Sam left him with his wings, so he could be somebody that they add to the Young Avengers. And then Ms. Marvel's going to have her show, so I feel like that's a natural segue. And they've talked about Miles in the Spider-Man series. You know, Prowler said that his nephew or whatever, so you know they're going to bring Miles in. So I really and I don't see Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and Chris, you know, Hemsworth playing their characters for another 20 years. So I do think it is probably a natural progression to head into the Young Avengers.
I was hoping that, because like I said, I would be okay with like a new, like actually just like a new Avengers, you know what I mean? Like the new Avengers, and they start it kind of all over again, you know? But like Young Avengers doesn't interest me really at all. But the other thing I thought kind of might happen, and we kind of talked about this a lot during WandaVision, was X-Men. Like the next step would be to move on to the X-Men, you know? So it's looking more and more like that's not going to happen. But
well, we get a couple of hints of X-Men in both of these series. I mean, we all thought that Quicksilver was going to somehow tie into the X-Men. Then you have Madripoor in this series, which is obviously tied closely to Wolverine. So they're hinting at them. You know they're going to do something with them, but it'll probably be on the big screen. It probably won't start on Disney Plus, I would think.
Right.
So did you guys catch that line where Falcon introduces himself as Captain America, and the guy says, "I thought he was on the moon."
I did hear that. Yeah.
Like, what? And then Bucky and Falcon kept talking about he's gone. They didn't say he died. They kept saying Steve is gone. So where is Steve Rogers?
Yeah,
Is
he never died in
moon?
Endgame. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He never
No,
died
you're
in
right.
Endgame, and nobody brings this up. He didn't die.
Right, it's the elephant in the room. Nobody. I was thinking, I'm like, did I miss something? I mean, I only saw Endgame 4 times in the theaters. Maybe I started going croak. Like, you know, I watched everything every minute. Maybe it was an Agents of Shield that I missed the last 3 seasons. Maybe he shows up on TV. I doubt it.
I mean, there is somebody who has a base on the moon, right? Is that like the Inhumans or something?
That's where Nick Fury ended up after he stole like the Watcher's eyeball or something, or or somebody killed the Watcher and then he took his place.
Yeah, well, like Hasselhoff Fury took the took the eyeball, you know.
Right. They had to do away with that version of Nick Fury so they can put Samuel L. Jackson, make it his son, and make him look like him. Fit the comics to the movies.
Yeah.
Well, my wife thought maybe he's with Nick Fury up at that shield, at that base, you know, at the end of Spider-Man. But I said, I just don't get the feeling that that's on the moon. But that isn't a throwaway line. That means something. The people on Earth think that Captain America is on the moon. So what's going on?
Maybe it's just like a conspiracy theory or something. You know, maybe you're reading too much into it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, wait 6 months and then I'll be right.
When we'll all have forgotten.
Darrin, you're awfully quiet. What are your thoughts on what did you think about Zemo?
Well, I really enjoy. I mean, I guess the way it ended for him in episode 5 was cool. I just like seeing Zemo in that series, and then to see him on the raft and when he's listening to the radio and then he just smiles and puts down the book on himself. I was like, oh, this is great. Like, so we're definitely going to see more of Zemo. I think that's a one guarantee aside from Captain America 4. I think that came out of this series, and I'm excited to see more of Zemo. I think Daniel Bruhl does a great job. I think everybody liked his character for the most part on the show. So yeah, we'll see where it goes with him. I have no clue now at this point. Like you guys, like Thunder, what could it be? You know?
Well, as soon as they said, we're taking Zemo to the raft, I was like, Thunderbolts. I was
Right.
like, yes.
Yeah, I could see it being Thunderbolts led by U.S. Agent, who's kind of the Rick Flag to their Suicide Squad, and then Zemo.
Or- Yeah, right. And then Zemo kind of comes in, and I love Zemo. Oh my gosh.
Right. Well, it could actually, I was thinking of this, it could be a very interesting series of kind of a spy thriller where you don't know who to trust, especially if you put Sharon Carter in there, who's friends with Bucky. Bucky was kind of on the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
She's talking about all the tech she has access to that could open up another hero or villain. But the most
Right.
important thing I think we need to look forward to is that Wonder Man's got to be coming at some point, right? I mean, isn't that that's what
he's
I
coming.
you want Alpha Flight, Bradley? I need Wonder Man, and it can be very easy. He could be a Thunderbolt. He could get some version of the serum, where if he doesn't take it, he dies. And then he helps out the good guys. He dies, and now you got White Vision over here needing a brain and a personality, and boom, that's why you had Wonder Man for that. That's what I'm hoping to see, but that's a lot.
Well, did you see the trailer for MODOK? Because Wonder Man is in it.
Yes, I did see.
That's the way we
But
wanted him.
Don't make it
introduced.
worse, Jared. Don't
Yeah,
make it
right.
worse.
Come on. I have
know-
no desire to watch that.
I know how much John loves Wonder Man. He's been talking about Wonder Man since I met him. And I saw him and I was like, John should love this.
I do.
What?
It looks like MODOK's wife is having an affair with Wonder Man. It's like, it's going to be ridiculous. It's Patton Oswalt and a bunch of other people that can be funny. So I'll assume the worst, hope for the best. And sometimes if you watch a show saying this is going to be terrible, you walk out saying, "Oh, that wasn't so bad."
I'd agree with that. Yeah. Okay.
And Mr. Sinister is supposed to make an appearance in it. So really that's all that I care
Really?
about it is because, well, I mean, no, but it's like, this is going to be the first time that Marvel is acknowledging there is an X universe, for like the past 10 years. So whether it's in claymation or not, I'll take Mr. Sinister in claymation form.
All right, and now it's time for this week's episode of Marvel Trivia.
All right, Marvel Trivia, my favorite. I love it. I love Marvel Trivia because I don't have to answer any of the questions, but I get to watch some of my friends sweat and gnash their teeth and pull out their hair. All right, so for Marvel Trivia, I didn't want to say anything, John. As it was coming out, I was like, don't
I came
dress
prepared.
it. All right, so we've got these handy dandy cards here with Marvel Trivia questions. They're ranked in skill level from 1 to 5, with 5 being the most difficult, 1 being the easiest. Each player is going to choose what category or what number they would like in terms of difficulty, and the first person to get up to 15 points wins the game. All right, we go alphabetical here. So we go Brad, Darrin, John. And we have been doing this for a few weeks now, so we're getting some duplicates. So if you get a duplicate question, I will ask you a different question.
No Hercules. Oh.
All right, Brad.
Let's start out with a 3.
With a 3. All right. Which villain? We have already asked that one. All right. We've already asked that one too. All right. Oh, this one's easy, but it is a 3. What is Punisher's secret identity?
Wow.
This happens to me every week.
Are you serious right now?
I shouldn't have said this is easy. Sorry.
I know. You did this to me. Oh my gosh.
You know the first name, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I'm there too. I'm glad I didn't get it. Oh man, he's one of my favorite. You freeze up on the Marvel Trivia.
Listen, this is not my final answer, but my mind keeps saying Tom Jane or Tim Jane.
Who played
Well,
the movie?
you might have to set a timer, Mr. Allen.
Oh, I feel your pain. You have no idea. I can't believe I can't remember the last name.
Oh, Frank Castle. Oh my gosh.
Frank Castle.
Are you serious?
All right. You are correct. So you get 3 points. Do we need to set a time limit that you can't take more than 17 minutes to answer the question, or?
I mean, that's just not fair to all of us, you know. I mean,
John came ready.
I knew that one.
All right, Darrin, Mr. Michael.
I'll go 3.
3. We had that one. Sorry. All right. You should get this one. Remember, these questions also are from 1939 to 2002. So a lot of stuff has changed in the last 20 years. For 3 points, who is known as the Merc with the Mouth?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. All right.
That was
John.
easy. That was way too easy. That should have been 1.
I'll start with a 3.
A 3. All right. Which female assassin turned hero had an affair with Daredevil?
Elektra.
Elektra. Everybody's on the board. Yeah. All right, Alan. Mr. Allen.
Let me get a 4.
4. Okay. Which Parker clone became a superhero?
Ben Reilly.
Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. All right, Darrin.
I got to follow Brad. 4.
Wow, okay. Which beautiful blonde agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in love with Captain America?
Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was easy too.
You see how that would have been a 4 back in 2002.
Yeah.
I'll stick with the group and give me a 4.
All right. Where do Spidey and Daredevil like to meet?
Man.
On top of the Daily Bugle.
It says atop the Brooklyn Bridge.
That's wrong then.
Yes.
John, could you indulge us with on break? You did an impression for us. Could you do that for us real quick?
Oh, we were talking about Contessa being played by Elaine and how the other cast of Seinfeld could be everybody else from those old S.H.I.E.L.D. comics. So we said that Jerry would be Nick Fury. Say, what's the deal with all this Hydra?
Oh, that's going to be my new ringtone. That's awesome, John. Thank you for indulging us. All right, Bradley.
Let me go back down to a 3.
All right. You should have picked 4, but 3. Who was Peter Parker's best friend in school?
Harry Osborn.
Harry Osborn. A 4 was name 3 of the Thunderbolts.
Oh my gosh.
But in 2002, so you only had the original lineup probably.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably would have missed that one.
Do you remember Charcoal?
Yeah. The Charcoal, the Burning Man?
Yeah, from Wizard. That guy created him from Wizard. Yeah. And then they got into a bunch of legal trouble, so they killed off Charcoal, and he's never been mentioned again.
Is that right?
But he was way cooler than Jolt, so.
Oh, Jolt sucked. All right. Darrin.
I'll go 3.
What is the name of Kingpin's wife?
I know this, but I can't remember it.
That's all right. Vanessa. Vanessa Fisk.
All right.
All right, John.
All right. I wish I could steal other people's answers because I only don't know the ones you ask me. I'll go 3. We'll just go steady.
Which member of the Invaders throws fire?
That would be the Human Torch.
The Human Torch.
And Torb, but he was like a kid invader.
Trying to get some bonus points there.
Come on, help me out here.
All right, Bradley.
Let me get another 3.
3, okay. We did that one before. Oh my gosh. This is Darrin and John are going to have an aneurysm. Okay. What is the name? Which of Captain America's partners was named after a bird?
A bird?
Yes.
Probably the Winter Soldier.
Like as in their alias?
Yes. Which of Captain America's partners was named after a bird?
Okay, the Falcon, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, the way you were saying it was like so
Wait.
cryptic. I was like,
Yeah,
am I gonna miss this right now?
We need updated trivia cards.
Yeah, I was talking to Nick, and I think I'm going to be working on some of my own. So
Ooh.
we might
All
have
right.
those maybe in a few weeks.
50%
right,
of
Darrin.
the box of questions will be related to Storm and her whole history.
What do you really think of Storm? You don't love her? -5.
I love her. +5.
There we go.
All right, no. I'll go with a 3.
All right, we have that one. I think we had that one. Sorry. We had that one. I'm going to shuffle these again. All right, let's try this again. Darrin, for 3 points. What is Elektra's choice of weapon?
Sigh.
Ah, yes. All right, Raphael.
My favorite Ninja Turtle. That's how I know it. So, yeah. All right.
All right. I think I'm going to have to go for 4 because I think Brad could win with the next question. So we all get to go around, right? Since he started it.
Yeah,
So if I
I'm
get
at 10, right? What's everybody at? I'm at 10.
13.
I'm at 6, so I got to go 4.
All right, John. Which 2 X-Men were on the future team known as the XSE?
Which 2 X-Men? I'm going to repeat the question for time. Were on the future team known as the XSE.
Yes, sir.
I know one of them. I think I know both of them now because I think she would be considered an X-Men. So I'm going to go with Bishop and Blink.
Bishop and Shard. Shard was Bishop's sister.
I thought it was. See, no points for me.
All right. Bradley.
Well, I only need 2, so let's go with the 2.
All right. You got 2.
Ah.
Who is Kitty Pryde?
Shadowcat.
Shadowcat. Darrin, how many do you have?
I'm at 10.
So do you want a 5?
Yep. Oh, this will be fun.
All right. What is Kazar's father's name?
Congratulations, Brad.
John, do you know?
Well, I think he's Kevin Plunder, but I don't know Mr. Plunder. Old Man Plunder is what I'm going to go with. I don't know.
Lord Robert Plunder.
Yeah. Okay.
I knew that.
Congratulations, Bradley.
Good job.
Thank you.
It's so much of it is in the draw of the card too, because I tell you, like John is an encyclopedia of Marvel knowledge.
I knew everybody
got
my own. And
Right.
whoever Kazar's father was.
Like the Shard question. That's tough.
Well, I know you guys, Jared, especially you. I know that's your wheelhouse, that era of X-Men. But for me, I'm gonna say something that maybe get me shunned forever. But I never read the entire Age of Apocalypse. Like I read the Gambit and the Externals. I enjoyed it. I read the first, and I knew Bishop, and I was thinking of his orange-haired mulleted friend too, or if if
Malcolm
Gambit.
and Randall.
Who else was on the XSE? And I always get Blink and Chard or whoever. I'm confused. I guess wasn't Blink around? Didn't she hang around with them too? Is that a person, or did I just make that person up?
She was in a few issues of the regular X titles right before the Phalanx Covenant and Age of Apocalypse, and then she kind of got popular in Age of Apocalypse.
Okay. Well, Brad's got it.
Brad,
No prize.
congratulations.
I just don't even know what to say. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Did you win the last time that you played?
No, Rick beat me by 2 points.
Rick. Okay. All right. Well, congratulations. Your Marvel sign helped you out in the back room.
That's right. It was feeding me right here.
Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us tonight. This has been the latest episode of the M6P versus the MCU. Thanks for joining us. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will just close out with a few of our sponsors real quick. Check out themarvelousbox.com. Check out crpsavings.com, michaelwebsolutions.com. And Darrin and I are wearing some swag by the M6P. You can check us out. Just go to TeePublic and do a search for the M6P. Darrin, can we see your shirt?
Yeah, so Jared and I have actually been talking about this. I've got 3 shirts on deck. Didn't know which one to wear tonight. I'm wearing pink, but it's a good one.
Just do it.
That's really cool.
Yeah, let's eat some planets. Just do it.
We should be like, just eat it.
Yeah. This is one of
And
so
then
we
I
have
did.
go ahead. All right.
I did House of X. I'm really into House of X, and I like video games, so I kind of made the video game main characters of House of X, put them on a shirt, and then put it on my body. That's what I do.
Nicely done.
Feel free to check us out on any of the social medias or any websites. Just search
This
for the
is
M6P.
this is my Invisible Woman shirt.
That is great. I love the design.
This is my Sam Wilson shirt now. And last year it wasn't, but now it is. So
But hey, real quick, in addition to the t-shirts on TeePublic, I mean, we've got mugs, stickers, everything. I just ordered the Just Do It Bub Wolverine sticker. So yeah, lots of cool goodies on there, not just shirts. Check it out.
Yeah. And until next time, make yours the M6P.